When she realizes you no longer want her, what does she do? Nowhere near what you expect. Higher intensity, greater revelation, and the ability to significantly transform the situation in your favor. Her response will reveal her true feelings and your relationship power. Stay with me because understanding her behavior will give you a major advantage you didn't realize you had. First, the shock of losing control. A woman's first shock, when she realizes she no longer likes you, is stronger than you think. Surprise is not the sole aspect. This scenario involves her sudden realization that the dynamic she controlled had changed. She may have thought you were emotionally committed, predictable, and invested from the start. However, losing that energy generates an emotional ripple she cannot ignore. Lack of clarity causes this overpowering emotion. Solace comes from uncertainty. It tells her where she is and reassures her that you are still there, paying attention and emotionally committed. Losing confidence pushes her into uncomfortable situations. What changed? She wonders. Have I misinterpreted him? Did I miss anything? These questions go beyond ignorance. These thoughts stem from her fear of losing the relationship she thought she controlled. This is the most interesting part. The balance shifts with a shock. Your solitude and lack of communication create mystery. She now knows her situation. Ambiguity also stirs emotions. This question alone might dominate her thoughts with why. You must avoid filling in the blanks for her in this situation. She needs time to process the shock and questions. She reassesses her actions and those of others during this anguish. Regaining validation is her second motivation. Validation is relational oxygen. She cannot ignore the emptiness in her brain when she thinks you are losing interest in her. The absence of this void causes her to feel the need to recapture that validation in order to assure that she will continue to hold a significant role in your life. However, this connects to more than only feelings. Regaining authority and control over life is the objective. Her conduct may change at this time. She might start contacting others by sending casual texts that are tests. Texts like, "Hey, how have you been?" Or "I saw something that reminded me of you." These are not random. They assess your mood and evaluate if you will participate. She wants to know whether she's still important to you, and if she still influences you. If she doesn't get her way, she may become more hostile. She may mention other people or act disinterested about your absence to generate an emotional response. True disinterest is not this. You will be putting your emotional stability and boundaries to the test during this task. Giving in too quickly is the most prevalent mistake in this case. In their desire for confirmation, they mistake her attempts for true interest and revert to chasing or over-explaining. But actual power comes from maintaining your position. Keep your cool and distance from her to make her work harder to understand you. This minor but profound change changes her view of you. It shows her that you are not who she thought she knew. Finally, her curiosity makes her reevaluate her viewpoint. After the first shock and her failed validation attempts, curiosity will take over. This curiosity goes beyond you. Understanding what went wrong and what changed is key. People are naturally analytical, especially about relationships. A rapid shift in conduct compels you to examine why. She immediately replays your conversations, examining every detail for clues. Did she miss something? She overlooks something important. These questions aren't just for thought. Her mind is always flooded with them. She may even consult her pals to find a reason for your conduct. Curiosity breeds contemplation. As she investigates, she finds things she missed before. Your qualities, actions, and uniqueness. Your absence creates a space in her mind, highlighting these positive traits. It appears that your quiet has intensified everything she took for granted. This period is great since you don't have to do anything. Her thoughts are doing all the work for you. Her interest in understanding events grows with her inquiry. The more engaged she is, the more likely she will realize how much money she risks. First, ego function. In this equation, ego is strong. It relates to her power and identity. Because of this, her ego protects that control when attacked. She must face a version of herself she may not want to see when she accepts that you no longer want to be with her. Validation and assurance are essential for ego survival. You boost her sense of relevance in your life by being attentive, responsive, and emotionally available to her. However, drawing back removes that reinforcement. This leads her to struggle within and question whether she overestimated her influence over you. This phase may challenge her since it questions her perception of the relationship. Even if she thought she had the upper hand, your withdrawal forces her to reconsider. Her ego may force her to act out to regain her dominance. She may make veiled comments, make you envy, or appear confident to hide her unease. This requires a steady pace. Avoid letting her ego-driven outbursts take you back in time. Staying calm will have a larger influence on her mood than any reaction. Her sentiments will finally trump her ego and she will begin to reflect. 5. Turning point. She notices absence. Silence is often underestimated, but when she senses your absence, it's clear. You're not the only thing I miss. It's about not giving the relationship your focus, energy, and consistency. She may initially dismiss it, believing she can adapt to the new dynamic. As days or weeks pass, your absence becomes increasingly evident. She begins to notice the small things she had taken for granted, such how you made her laugh, listened, or provided stability. This realization comes in waves, each stronger than the last. Absence is emotional and psychological. As time goes on, she wonders if she misjudged your worth and if she did anything wrong to lose your attention. This reflection is powerful because it forces her to not acknowledge her acts or their consequences. Your task will be easy throughout this period. Do nothing. Let her feel the absence fully. Allow her to ruminate. The longer she thinks about these emotions, the more significant your absence seems. Quiet people are worth more for 6 reasons. Silence can sometimes misinterpreted. Ignoring her and playing games are unacceptable. Give her space to reflect on your beneficial effect on her life. If you stop chatting to her, she may lose comfort. This sudden absence makes her rethink your importance. This is where magic happens. Your calm surprises everyone nearby, making it powerful. Most people try to address disappointment by seeking closure, justifying themselves, or battling for attention. Without expressing a single word, you are able to communicate a message just by taking a step back and being silent. I need not prove my worth to you. My acts have been shown. Your quiet intensifies your presence in her mind over time. She recalls past conversations, seeing subtleties she overlooked. It'd be your kindness, loyalty, or way of making her feel special. Since there is no noise to distract her from the hole you left behind, these positive traits become more noticeable. Quietness lets her reflect on herself. She may worry, why hasn't he called me? Will he move on? Could I have misjudged him? These questions aren't just for fun. Things like these feel immediate. As you stay silent, your presence will become more significant, and she will realize how much she misses you. Long-term silence promotes emotional stress. This creates unique emotional strain. My yearning for you is not the only reason of this tension. Her unresolved feelings and questions are the center. Her insecurity over her relationship with you shapes her thoughts. She remembers you because of your constant focus. She feels unstable, which makes emotional tension strong. She may have thought she was in charge, but your withdrawal puts that to rest. After losing control, you may experience sorrow for not appreciating you, curiosity about what you're doing, and shame for taking you for granted. Tension increases her sensitivity of everything that reminds her of you. A music, a familiar place, or even an unrelated conversation may bring up memories of your relationship. Each reminder makes her think more about you as she feels more emotionally pulled. Number 8, curiosity turned into action. Curiosity drives action. She will feel an overwhelming impulse to narrow the distance. As the emotional strain peaks, she may first like your social media posts, send you casual SMS, or create reasons to contact you. She tries harder to reconnect as her interest in the issue grows. Her contact with you shows she has been thinking about you. She probably spent days or weeks pondering her thoughts, revisiting conversations and wondering what went wrong. Realization often follows reflection. She may have made a bigger mistake losing you than she thought. Your response to her actions is crucial. This is your chance to show your growth throughout the years. Be calm, confident, and detached when responding. If she texts you, don't start a deep conversation. Instead, keep things light and informal to show her you are not hungry for her attention, even though you want to see her again. This balance of self-confidence and distance changes how she sees you. Thus, it emphasizes that you are worthy of pursuit rather than readily won over. Maintaining your composure will let her recognize that gaining you back would be harder than she thought. The number is 9. How come? Emotional control always wins. Emotional control is one of the most attractive traits, and it's even more evident when she tries to reconnect with you. She may test your patience or evoke emotional responses when she touches you to assess your interest. Her future opinion of you depends on how you handle these events. Imagine she references past battles or other people to get a response. Your wrath or annoyance shows her that you still care about her actions. Keeping your cool and calm displays authority and confidence. You care for her, yet your indifference to her conduct shows. Emotional control is different from repressing feelings. Mastering them is the aim. Representing your maturity and grace in facing failure, rejection and conflict is the aim. This rare sort of stability is enticing because it creates a sense of safety. She knows you don't get upset easily, no matter what. Having emotional control also draws attention to you, which is great. You show her that your happiness and life are not reliant on her. By not chasing her, or reacting to her challenges, your freedom sets you apart and leaves a lasting impact. 10. Strength from graciously moving on. Gracefully moving on is one of the most important things you can do for yourself today. This does not mean ignoring her or shutting her out. It means showing her that you are confident enough to prioritize your own growth and happiness over hers. Moving on gently sends a clear message. I'm so self-confident that I'd never stay in a bad situation. This level of self-respect shows that you are not afraid to leave bad situations. It also makes her question her actions and decisions. Graceful detachment is not manipulation or retribution. Focusing on yourself is key. Successful living requires pursuing enjoyable activities, no matter your career, hobbies, or personal growth. Her admiration and curiosity grow as she watches you succeed without her. By moving on gracefully, you leave a lasting impression. You handled the situation with respect and maturity, and it will remind her of what she lost. This realization often leads to remorse and a desire to reconnect. However, you will be better able to decide if she deserves your time and effort by then. Final thoughts. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe to similar videos if this one was helpful. Leave comments with your ideas. To get your point of view, I would be delighted. Have a good time in the next